My dearest brothers and sisters, I'm Jesse with Living Tree Community Foods. We're here in the Rose Garden in Berkeley, a magnificent amphitheater of roses with with terrace after terrace carved into the hillside, and the roses are rejoicing. They are dancing in the magnificent sunlight, in the wonderful care that they receive, and in the adulation of so many people who come here, especially on weekends, to adore them. So a privilege to be here in this very unique and magnificent creation, the Berkeley Rose Garden. Today, brothers and sisters, we're going to be doing a very special planting. A planting of redemption and renewal. Yes, it is September, but with the right choice of salad greens, we can have a magnificent winter garden. It's still not too late. Nature is so forgiving. So we plant here as an expression of our confidence in you. You saved this great nation, once half free and half slave, and you saved and redeemed it, but at terrible cost. Over 500,000 Northerners died in the Civil War. And then there is the previous generation, the greatest, who redeemed this great nation once again from the clutches of a sort of radical evil without precedent in all of history. The greatest generation. And yet, despite these triumphs, despite having accomplished so very much, we have become the loneliest nation in all of history. No people has ever been so isolated, so remote, and so estranged. And it's tragic. It's so tragic that this loneliness bears especially hard upon young people. The suicide rate among young Americans ages 10 to 24 rose 62% from 2007 to 2021. And in view of this great tragedy, we're going to be planting lettuce. We'll start with an old-time variety from the Seed Savers Exchange. They do so much to preserve our heritage in seeds. And we're going to be planting a Grandpa Admir's lettuce. It goes way back. So here we go, Grandpa Admir. And let me give you a hint about lettuce. The smaller the seed with lettuce, you just broadcast it on top of your planting bed. You do not cover, just broadcast it on top. That's all you need to do. Followed by, as we will, by a good watering later. And then we're going to be planting Winter Density, a British lettuce. It's very adaptable. It will grow most anywhere, US of A. Winter density, a magnificent romaine. And then we're going to follow that with an Amish deer tongue lettuce. The Amish are such industrious and admirable people. I have visited their farms, and it's an incredible sight to see water still being pumped by a hand pump. And when they travel, to see them on the highways in their horse and buggies. A magnificent people indeed. So, Amish deer tongue lettuce. And then Utical, a Middle Eastern lettuce. Note how strong and upright this is. A magnificent romaine variety, Utical lettuce. And that completes our lettuce planting. So let's go on, but of course to kale. And of course we have to start with a Siberian kale, one of my favorites. And then we're going to do a red Russian kale. This is another salad green that will grow most anywhere, US of A. So adaptable indeed. Red Russian kale. And we plant our red Russian kale because in tribute to all of our brothers and sisters who are struggling with obesity. Obesity is a graphic illustration of estrangement from oneself and one's body. It is the embodiment of the sad and tragic consequences of loneliness, in my humble opinion. And it is particularly tragic that in just a few years, it is said that over half of Americans will become obese. This epidemic of obesity is without precedent in all of human history. And then there is the epidemic of diabetes. Over 34 million Americans have diabetes, mostly type 2. And 88 million American adults are pre-diabetic. So, in view of this, we're going to plant magnificent collard greens. Collard is a vigorous, close relative of kale. It is a broad, flat leaf. It also is so adaptable. And here we're going to be planting an Afghanistan collard. Afghanistan collard. And here a Vates collard. which is a classic. Then there is the epidemic of cardiovascular. It is the leading cause of death globally. And with that, we're going to be planting a Swiss chard. This is a Japanese mountain chard, brought to us by Bear Creek Nursery. They specialize in heirloom and rare seeds. So, Swiss chard. And then there is the epidemic of cancer. The World Health Organization predicts that we will see more than 35 million new cancer cases by 2050, an increase of 77% over the estimated 20 million cases in 2022, an increase of 77% in just 30 years. So with this, we're going to be planting a magnificent beet, bull's blood. This is another American favorite. We have got to get back. I see every front lawn a victory garden. Every backyard a victory garden. I see vacant lots everywhere, blossoming with community gardens, where friends, neighbors, and so-called homeless get together and plant fruits and vegetables. I see edible schoolyards blossoming. Also, every schoolyard, an edible schoolyard, it can be done. I see work, the work that we do, the day-to-day work that we all try to shun and avoid. I see this becoming work a joyous celebration. We can do it. We can plant magnificent forests. That is, reforest the Great Plains. And let us please bring back the buffalo. And this Berkeley Rose Garden, look upon it, is a harbinger, a sign, a portent for good of what we can do. Imagine, this was once a vacant hillside, and now it is an amphitheater of roses. A privilege and a pleasure to share with you, my dear friends. May I suggest that you consider hitting the subscribe button down below, and who knows, maybe even giving us a like. So let us go forward. We have a world to recreate, a universe to redeem. Let us go forward. My privilege to share with you. Thank you very much. Your comments, criticisms, and suggestions are treasured by us. Thank you.